Welcome to Gentle Herb Living. If you want roots that explore farther, plants that pull nutrients and water more efficiently, and a garden that recovers from stress faster, you should pay attention to mycorrhizal fungi. A single, correctly prepared soil drench changed everything in my beds this season. More root branching, quicker transplant take, and noticeably healthier foliage. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what I poured, why it works, and how to do it step by step so you get real colonization rather than wasted product. This is what I poured into the soil. I used a slurry made from a quality arbuscular mycorrhizal inoculant blended into water boosted with a small dose of humic acid and a dash of kelp extract. Fungi, the glomus group and similar species, form the symbiosis most vegetables and annuals need. The powdered inoculant supplies the spores while humic and kelp give the fungi an accessible food and signaling environment that helps spores germinate and attach to roots. The mix is simple, inexpensive, and safe to use around established plants and seedlings. So you'll want to choose the right mycorrhizal product for your crops. Not all mycorrhizae are the same, you know. For vegetables, herbs, and most annuals, use an arbuscular mycorrhizal inoculant that's labeled for garden crops. Trees and, well, many shrubs benefit from ectomycorrhizal species instead. Make sure to read the labels for viable spore counts and application guidance. If you can get a product described as contains Glomus intraradices, Glomus mosaei, etc., that'll cover most garden needs. It's best to buy powders or granules intended for soil application rather than garden mixes that might be diluted. Right, so let's talk about mixing the slurry properly. This is where you'll want to avoid any killers. Measure according to the product directions, then mix the recommended dose into non-chlorinated water at a cool to moderate temperature. Next, stir in a small amount of humic acid. Just follow the product rates, and a weak kelp solution if you want to give your roots an extra boost. Don't add high phosphorus fertilizers or strong sugars though. High soluble phosphorus actually discourages mycorrhizal colonization, and sugars tend to favor bacteria over fungi. Let the slurry sit for a short while so the spores can hydrate, but be sure to use it within a few hours of mixing. Right, so you'll want to apply the drench exactly where the roots will find it. Mycorrhizae really colonize roots best when they meet them directly. For transplants, just dip the roots in the slurry before planting, then pour whatever's left into the planting hole. If you're working with established plants, use a watering can to drench the root zone. Make sure to apply it slowly so the liquid soaks in rather than running off. For rows or beds, a light drench along the root band at the base of the plants does the trick. Oh, and remember to repeat once more after about 2 to 4 weeks if you're establishing new beds, but don't overdo it. Spores need a bit of time to germinate and find those roots. Now, you'll want to protect the fungi after you apply them. Keep the soil evenly moist, but not waterlogged for the first 2 weeks to really encourage germination. Try to avoid fungicidal sprays and high-phosphate fertilizers while colonization is happening. It's also a good idea to reduce aggressive tilling in the treated area so the fungal hyphae can extend without being severed. You can use a light layer of woody mulch to help moderate moisture and provide carbon that supports those fungal networks. And if you like, consider charging biochar with compost or inoculant as a long-term habitat. Look for signs and, just be patient. Mycorrhizal colonization isn't dramatic overnight. You'll notice better root branching when you inspect your transplants, improved drought recovery, and often a steadier, deeper green in the canopy within a few weeks to months. If you've prepared the soil, used a proven inoculant, applied it right at the roots and protected the site afterwards, well, you've done everything practical to let the fungi go wild, working for you below ground to feed and protect your plants. If this practical soil trick sounds useful, go ahead and subscribe to Gentle Herb Living for more field-tested techniques, and share this with someone who wants stronger, self-supporting gardens. Drop a comment with what you poured in your beds, and we'll compare results.